can we address the importance of a personal practice? I personally didn't realize how valuable a personal practice is until I didn't have one anymore. In 1998, I was 16. I started practicing yoga. I was overcoming some self-sabotaging stuff. Like, it basically saved me from becoming a full-time partier, and it helped me overcome my eating disorder because it gave me something to do and like gave me another way to look at my body. Because I remember thinking, if I can't love it for how it looks, maybe I can love it for what it can do. And so that was the foundation for cultivating that relationship to my yoga practice. And everyone's like, why did you quit? Well, 22 years later, I'm 38 years old, and it just kind of ran its course. Like, when you finish fourth series and there's no more mountains to climb, it's the journey is different, right? And so while I can still apply the principles and philosophies, the asana practice is not there for me anymore, right? But I went through a big kind of void for a while as I was looking for that thing. And what I realized was that it was the personal practice that I actually was missing. And a personal practice is more than just a hobby, although it's somewhat similar. A hobby is something that we engage in when we can for fun, that we can learn from, but there's no discipline surrounding it. It's just something that we enjoy. Whereas a personal practice is something that we commit to and we're disciplined in showing up for the purpose of establishing a rapport with the self to learn, grow, to heal, and to have that reflective nature. So a personal practice can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be prayer work, it can be gardening, it can be, even just really and truly working out can be a personal practice in a sense, depending on your relationship to it, right? So the reason I appreciate them so much is because without something that we are showing up for every day and creating a space for that's exclusively for us, and we're just at the whim of our circumstances or our environment, we aren't getting our needs met. Like, we're not filling our cup. And a personal practice is a really good way to fill your own cup. Because in this incredibly stressful and chaotic world, there's a lot of output that happens, but there's nothing really coming back to fuel the system. And not to say that work or your relationships or other things can't bring you that. We need something that is in our control that we can rely on and show up for regardless. See, when it's work related, we can't always control the other variables involved, right? In the workplace or clients or superiors. And the same with relationships. So like, even if you really find purpose in motherhood or, being a partner, like, that's great. But again, we're contingent upon another individual to fuel that for us. And when it happens that we end up in a season where it's not fueling us, then we run into problems, right? And again, this is why personal practice is so valuable on its own, because it forces you to then get in touch with yourself. But the beauty is you're in control. And so you know that you can show up and do it for yourself. Like, you're in control of the elements. It's just you and you. Like I said, whether you're learning how to garden or maybe you go hiking every day. And the thing is, it's specific to you showing up for you, getting something out of it for you, that you're disciplined to, that you can grow and change with. You're going to go through a honeymoon phase, you're going to go through a bonding phase, you're going to go through a power struggle phase, you're going to go through these different phases of a personal practice, which is beautiful because then you get to self-reflect in a safe space where it's just you. And you can rely on the fact that it's just you. And so when it comes to output, you're getting that direct feedback because it's coming from you, right? And so it's a really nice way, like I said, to fill your cup, to get your needs met. The hardest part about creating a personal practice is people who really defer their energy and their power to their circumstances really struggle to create the boundary to be like, this is my half hour each day. But if you can do that, like if you can just be like, I'm dedicating a half hour a day or an hour a day or whatever it is, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, whatever, like you create that commitment, then you can establish a foundation for which you're now creating that space for yourself to learn, to grow, to heal, to love, all of it. Not dependent on anything else, just you. And it really nurtures you. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. And it's different, right? Like what we do, what we choose is going to be different for everybody. The reason it's something that nurtures you is because there's growth behind it. And like, that's why like my yoga practice is no longer a personal practice, because the growth had kind of stopped. There was nowhere to go. And so while I can go inward on a spiritual level still, which I do, that aspect of it, I'm not going to do fifth series. Like, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 people have attempted it. Like, it's just, I'm not doing it. And there's so much contortion involved and my joints are old. I'm not doing it. So I had to figure things out. And these days, a lot of my personal disciplines or practices are, they're based on, you know, I'm learning Italian. Like I've been learning Italian for 5 years, and I commit every day to showing up and learning more of the language. And when I test myself or I'm doing translations and like the memory's there and the learning is there, like it's so rewarding. It's so exciting. It's not about anybody else. Like this is like, I'm not getting graded on this. I'm not going to school for this. I don't have a teacher. I don't have like, it's not nothing, right? There's no superior or partner or anything. It's just me. It's just me dedicating 15 to 30 minutes a day to learning this beautiful language so that I can grow. And there are definitely days where I'm like, like I want to get out of the way. And then there's days where I'm like, I can't wait to learn my Italian. And so it's like you get to measure that part of the process. And the fact that you're committed and disciplined around showing up is what gives you a way to measure your growth long term, you know, because if we're sporadic, it's really hard to measure, right? This is why it's important to have it be daily or at least every other day or something that where it's regular, so you can actually measure the growth. And it's rewarding. And like, especially if you're looking for a way to build confidence, which I know a lot of women are, if you're looking to build that confidence, it's a fabulous way to start building that confidence, is to create that space, make the commitment to learning and growing in some way. And you do it for you. And it's been so effective on so many levels, right? And so if you don't have this for yourself, I highly recommend you create it, because it's really foundational for healthy living, less stress, better boundaries, more confidence. It's just a really good, when you create that relationship to yourself, it eventually spills over into other areas of your life and becomes like a guide for how you deal with other situations. So I wanted to share that, and we need to talk about that for a while. Personal practices, if you don't have one, get one. If you need help figuring one out, let me know. I am here for you. For more content like this, please like, share, follow. To all the beautiful women out there, have a wonderful day.